Hello everybody, I'm the Trybox Gamer and welcome back to Minecraft Peaceful Mode. We're gonna see how far we could get in the game just being on Peaceful. I don't know why it's lagging this bad. Alright, everything better load up. Everything better chill out. Start giving me some slime. I need it for the blocks. These guys have been nothing but a pain in my rear for... I swear, one of you's always ready, and then when I click, like no one else is. And if you're gonna guess if we're talking about zombies again, yeah, you're right. We're gonna talk about zombies again. Why? I'm bored. I have nothing else to talk about, and honestly, yeah, I just have nothing else to talk about. Like we're literally breeding pandas for the last couple episodes. I can't like talk about that for 3 episodes. We're just gonna talk about more zombies, I guess. So, what was the last game I was talking about? The Dying Light. Dying Light. That was the last game. See? Always. One of you's always ready to go, then no one else is. Is it how zookeepers feel? I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the zookeepers. Especially since they have to keep you guys, like, alive. Everyone better, like, thank those zookeepers. Like, if you have to deal with this headache, I think I lose it by now. Alright. So, last one was Dying Light. I say I gave myself, like, a 50% chance in day. It drops down significantly at night, like, 10% chance, maybe, 1 out of 10. And, if I'm actually indoors and safe, then, most likely safe. 100% safety there. At the lowest, 70%. So 7 out of 10. If I'm like, because you know, there's always a chance that somebody breaks in, like a zombie or something, and just like takes you out. Always that chance. It's highly unlikely due to the UV light security for the volatiles, but I'm not saying it can't happen. Could happen during the day too. So you know, like hypothetically. So. Any of you give me any slime balls? No? How long does this take? I'm gonna look this up. Give me a sec. Alright. Pandas. Baby pandas have a 1 in 700 chance of dropping 1 slime ball when sneezing. 1 in 700% chance, huh? So unless I get 700 pandas in this small little contraption, which, you know what? I want to say I want to try, just because that sounds kind of funny. But on the other hand, I don't have that kind of patience. You know what? Take my mind off things, I'm going to explore a bit. I'm also going to think of the next zombie game to, you know, talk about. Or zombie media, like it don't have to be specifically zombie game. I guess everything's been kind of a game, except for the Walking. Well, that has its own game, but details. So I'm just gonna try to think about a different zombie game. I'll go with Days Gone. I like playing Days Gone. It was a pretty fun game. The thing is I cannot remember any of the special infected for the life of me. I know one runs fast. I know one hits hard. I think one of them's like an ambush kind of zombie too. I just don't remember their names. So, I'm actually gonna look that up so I have like a name to go off of. You ever notice that? I think in a lot of zombie media, they're never explicitly called zombies. They always avoid the term zombie for some reason. For the most part, like, a lot of things always call them something else, like, infected, walkers for, you know, The Walking Dead, for a prime example. And not really zombie. I kind of wonder why that is a rule. But, going for the zombies in Days Gone, the common one's called the Swarmers, which are the huge hordes of zombies that chase you down. I'm going to assume that in my basic equipment, I'm not on foot, and I have mode of transportation, because if I'm on foot, then I better get running, because one, well, I don't actually, I'm kind of remembering how I played this game, and I'm going with the whole thing that the hardest difficulty must be like the canon difficulty, because it would make sense in a horror game. I say they got like one good hit before they take me out, so it's a 2-hit kind of thing. Now, multiply that by like a lot of enemies, because swarmers, as you could probably figure out, they swarm you. There's a lot of them. If I'm running away, if I have a mode of transportation that will get me out of dodge, then I'm gonna give myself like a 50% chance, because I know that just because there's a swarm behind me, there's not like a swarm that's gonna pop up in front of me somewhere. So yeah, I'm gonna give it like 50-50 with these guys. While direct combat isn't ideal, they aren't indestructible. They are durable, but they will take a couple good hits. I just think it's like not a good idea, considering that if I do fight off one, there's just a good chance that there's gonna be like another one right nearby that'll take me off guard if I'm picking off them like in a fight. Unless I go with the stealthy option, which even then I'm positive they'll probably know that, well, not know, but they'll probably notice that one of the zombie buddies got taken out and come investigate. So yeah, fighting these guys, unlike your average zombies, probably not the greatest idea. Running away, however, pretty doable though. Next one are called bleachers, which they're kind of stronger than the average swarmer. I think with these guys, they have like the ambush strategy on you, if that's the one I'm remembering correctly. They're also pretty fast too. I get the feeling that if I were to get cornered by one of these guys, it kind of game over. It's because these guys are very fast. You can't just outrun them. You have to take them out, or stun them long enough to get away. But they do hit pretty hard. So combat-wise, I would say not ideal to fight them. The good thing is I don't think that these guys travel in packs like the swarmers. I think they're kind of solitary, if I remember correctly. Like, unless I got very unlucky with spawn and one pops up while I'm fighting another. But I noticed that they're like the special zombies don't really stick together, unlike other zombie games. Honestly, I don't remember seeing a special zombie near each other when I play this game. Either A, I got very lucky, or B, my game just glitched out on me and like gave me a bone for dealing with them. But yeah. The next one is called the Newt, which is just a kid zombie. These guys travel in packs, but they're tiny. I'm not saying they can't hurt you. They can if they, you know, swarm you like the other type, but just because they're so weak, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Again, that 1 out of 10 is always there because there's a good chance that you could get overwhelmed. Like, they might be small, they might be easy to take out, but if you have like 20 of them on you, I'm sorry, I'm just saying, you know, 20 on 1 don't seem too fair. Like, the plus is that they are small and weak, but that is still 20 on 1 dude. Like, imagine like just getting little claws into your ribs or your sides. Like, that's still gonna hurt. But chances are, if they are swarming you like that, you have a good hit on all of them. So yeah, 9 out of 10. The next one is the Screamer, and I'm gonna be honest with everybody, I rarely run into this one. I rarely run into the zombie. Like, I think the only reason why I know of it is because of the story. Yeah. Every time that I encounter it, you know what I do? I literally drive past it, and that's it. I don't think it runs fast. I mean, granted, it does draw in enemies, which can be very dangerous, but in itself, I'd say give me a 50-50 because, one, I'm not entirely sure how fighting this thing... Like, let me just paint you a picture of how I fight this thing. I'm on my motorcycle. I'm driving. I get disoriented because it screamed. I do a U-turn. I ram right into it with my motorcycle, and then I drive away. That's basically how the fights go. And it works. For the most part, so that's why I'm saying 50-50. If I stuck around and fought the horde at something, then I'm stupid and I deserve that 0 out of 10 because that's just me going up against odds that will get me killed. The next one's called the Breaker, which, if I think it's the big one, I think. It's the big one. I'm just gonna say this right now. The big one in the Days Gone game just did not feel that threatening. I'm gonna be honest, it just didn't feel that threatening. Number one, I rarely came across these guys. Number two, I kind of fought it exactly like I fought the Screamer by doing U-turns and hitting it with my motorcycle. Did it work all the time? No. But it worked to a degree. So, I'm feeling kind of confident against a strong zombie, but that's like, not too confident. If you like, I could see it killing me. Don't get me wrong. I could definitely see it killing me. It's just, if I'm on my bike and I'm driving and I run into it, I could just drive away. It's not exactly fast. Like, I wouldn't say it's fast like, I don't know. So the survivors are fast, but like a lot of the zombies, you could escape simply by driving away. Which is why during this let's I am kind of giving myself more of an edge because, yeah, I could just drive away. Of course, there's always one zombie that could catch up with you, and I think it's called the Reacher. They are pretty strong, pretty fast, and honestly, probably the one where I'm gonna put myself like a 2 out of 10. Again, I think they have that whole kind of ambush thing. Like, aren't they the ones that could sneak up on you and like just hit you from behind? Like, if that's the ones I'm thinking of. Then yeah, 2 out of actually it might just drop to 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 if that's their game plan, because if I'm caught off guard, I freak out. That's going to get me killed. That's straight up going to get me killed. There's always a chance that I adapt quickly, which I would say 1 out of 10, just like, or I mean 2 out of 10, just, you know, for optimism, but I feel like it'd be a 1 out of 10 with these guys. And that'd be it for the humanoid zombies. We have something called animal zombies. Luckily for you, there's about 3 that you run into. Or unlucky for you, because one's called a runner. Infected wolves. They are capable of catching up to your motorcycle. The upside is that they're not too durable, meaning that a good timed pot shot might take them out, but the bad thing is that they travel in packs because they're wolves, you know? It's say that you're not on your motorcycle, you gotta fight like 2-3 of these things. I'm just gonna say 2 out of 10 at the least. Maybe 3 out of 10. Depends on how well supplied you are. Like, if you have a good amount of ammo on you and you keep them from a distance, you'd probably be okay. I mean, okay, 3 wolves pop up, but you got a shotgun. You should be fine. Just have a good aim, good shot. Don't freak out should be like a tagline in a zombie game. Like, you're surrounded, but don't freak out. You got this. On the motorcycle, again, it depends on how well you place your shot, because if you get a good shot off, you could just take them out instantly. The reason why I'm not feeling too confident in this is because, well, you gotta know when they're stalking you, and if you ever have, like, tunnel vision, you're just, like, on a long road, you're focusing on the road, and you're not really paying attention, then they catch up to you, like, easily and catch you off guard. So I'm thinking, if you're on the motorcycle, I'll give it 50-50, because, you know, chances are you might notice, you might not notice, you might knock you off, and if that's the case, you might be a little in the red there, but I feel a little optimistic about it. The other ones are called criers, which I believe are just infected ravens. Not tough, but at the same time, just because they're not tough, there are plenty of them, you know, because they're birds. Getting swarmed by a murderer crow, literally. I want to say 8 out of 10 because they're extremely weak, but there is a good number of them, and they're hard to hit, so they might get the upper hand, but honestly, you probably find, like, if you, again, just drive a good enough distance, you will be fine. That is a good solution for these zombies, is just drive away a good distance, and you will be fine. The last zombie is called the Rager, and, Rage describes this one fairly well. This is an infected bear. You heard me right. It is an infected bear. I'm just gonna say it. No. No, there's no way I'm fighting that thing and living. I could possibly escape it. I'm positive you could just get on your bike and go. Like I said, this is a very common way to escape zombies, because, again, the game's not really designed for you to kill all zombies. It's for escaping, getting away from zombies. So, with the bear, if I'm escaping, I'm gonna say 50-50 chance, because I believe I have a good chance on getting out of dodge. But if I'm fighting it, that's not even a 1 out of 10, my friend. That is a 0 out of 10. I am dead. You're expecting me to fight an infected bear. No. I'm not an action hero. I'm an average Joe. It'll maul me to death. A normal bear would maul me to death. This thing, it's just more angry than your average bear. And it's not even Yogi. So, we talked about the zombies, so let's talk about how the virus infects people. I hate to tell you, Chief, but you're already infected. Yeah. According to Days Gone, everybody in the world has the strain of infection. There's only 2 outcomes. You survived the first strain, meaning it passed, you were fine, or when you got it, you became one of those freaks. Which is what they call them. They call them freakers. They don't call them zombies. Again, going to the point that media usually just avoids using the term zombies for some reason. Don't know why, but yeah. So, the problem with surviving this world isn't getting infected and turning into a zombie, it's just keeping away. And I feel a little confident on keeping away because we would most likely have a mode of transportation, being a motorcycle or maybe a different type of vehicle. The problem with that is that we're going to have to keep that vehicle, you know, well maintained. Lack of materials could prove, you know, troublesome. But, you know what? I still give it a 50-50 chance. I give it a 50-50 chance because, one, I feel like that's more based on luck. And even if you couldn't find a place to, like, get a vehicle, or if you can't make your own vehicle, there are places that will hold survivors, meaning you have a good chance on staying safe. I just give it 50-50 because I feel like that feels appropriate in this world. Just like, you could either be swarmed by the infected, or you could keep running. If you stay stationary, then you already have a bunch of people that'll help you survive. So, yeah, with Days Gone, I give it 50-50. What next game should we talk about? Dead Island? I don't think I've talked about Dead Island. I feel like with Dead Island that might be a little more challenging, because are we gonna agree that we're just gonna assume we're an average like, we've been going based on we're an average person. I don't think we have any immunities. And I don't think there's any cure for zombies in, you know, that series. Like, if you turn, you turn. There's no suppressing it. You are basically done if you get bit. Which, with the amount of zombies there are, you have a great chance of getting bit. So, yeah, we might be kind of cooked with Dead Island. So, you have the average walker. They're slow. I wouldn't say they're tough, but I wouldn't say that they're kind of easy to handle. Like, I give them, on a difficulty scale, if they are alone, 3 out of 10. Because they could still grab you, and they still have a good, like, grip when they, get their hands on you, but they're easy to deal with for the most part. It's only when you're surrounded by them that it kind of gets a little dangerous. At this point, you probably should figure out that there's going to be a fast zombie. There's always a fast zombie. I'd say 5 out of 10 on the grounds that a well-placed hit kind of takes them out. It's just they usually travel in packs. They're fast, but if you swing just right, a simple swing of a baseball bat should keep you safe. So with them, I feel like it's a 50-50 kind of thing. So, yeah. Then we have the special kind of zombies. You have the thugs, which are the big, tough zombies that, again, there's always a type of zombie that is strong. And this is one of them. Now, as strong as thugs are, they are slow. They are very, very slow. Like, you could walk past them. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't recommend getting close because, as slow as they are, they have a nasty punch. But when I say you could literally walk past them, that is me being honest. You could just walk past them and still be out of their reach. So with thugs, I feel like if you avoid them, their difficulty, like, you could survive them 10 out of 10, which I think is the first time I actually said 10 out of 10 for anything. I always go like a little, technically they're not always alone. There's a zombie like right next to them, but yeah, you know what? 9 out of 10 just to keep up with consistency. But if you're fighting them, 2 out of 10 on the fact that as durable as they are, you can easily break some of their limbs if you focus your attention on hitting something. And even if you don't focus on breaking something, you could easily cut off their limbs, leaving them more vulnerable. They'll still try to bite you, but, no limbs, keep them at arm's length, you should be fine. The next one's those, I don't know what you call these ones. They are the ones that kind of throw up on you, spit at you. I want to say, I don't want to say 50-50 because honestly, these things, they do seem a little nasty. The fact that I think the most times you're going to encounter these guys are in a sewer surrounded by more infected, I want to say also doesn't do well with the whole survival scale. I say give it a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Not sure how powerful their little vial thing is, but if you run, you should be fine. Like, it's gonna hurt, but you should be fine. They can't keep up with you, that's, a given. But they do have long range, which is the reason why I'm not saying it's like, oh, 50-50, you could keep moving. If they get a good hit on you, then it's kind of like, oh, Now, the next time it's called a butcher, which, if that doesn't spark confidence, according to Wikipedia, because honestly, I don't remember finding these things, at least up until I started reading it. And, yeah, the butcher is very dangerous. Not only is it very fast and aggressive, well, according to what the wiki says, if you fight it for too long, it will literally heal itself. It will run off very fast and heal itself. So imagine if you're in a fight with this thing. You're actually surviving. It dips, and it comes back, like, with more health. It's like, oh boy, you are a tough cookie. You are a tough cookie. I would say that out of a survival rating, I want to say probably a 0 out of 10. This thing might kill me. Especially if we're around more zombies. Like, if it's better with more zombies, which I think it would be. That's a lot of glow squid over there. Wow. I've never seen that many glow squid in one place. Anyway. 0 out of 10, realistically, if I'm feeling optimistically, I'm trying to. I'd say 1 out of 10. But that's me being nice. That is me being a little too optimistic about my survival chance. Now, the next one's called a ram. I want to say, well, it is low survival. You can dip through a tight space and escape that way, so I'm gotta put it at a 4 out of 10. Just like 4 out of 10 on the grounds that if you find a nice tight space to like escape from, you could easily outmaneuver it. The good news is that, well, if you can't tell, when it rams, because that's its move, when it rams, if you dodge it, you have a few seconds to get that, heck out dodge. That's kind of a joke there. I didn't realize, but point is that fighting this thing's like just death, so no, don't fight it. Outrunning it's also kind of tricky because say that you're trying to run away, if it does its charge, that's going to be directly at where you're going. However, if you trick it to charge somewhere else and then try to run away, you have a better chance. So that's why I'm kind of giving myself like a 5 out of 10, a 50-50 shot here. Feels like it could be doable. It's just a pain to deal with, Where do they go? Do they grow up and leave? Let's pretend that's what happened. So, I think that would be all the zombies. So let me just do a recap. We got the thug, we got the ram, we got... Oh, it's called a floater. That's the one that's like kind of spits at you. We have the butcher. Oh, I can't say that name, but it's the one that blows up. The one that blows up, if you get too close, that one, I'm gonna have to say... I want to say 50-50 because one, when you approach it, when you see it, you could see it's not clearly human. However, it does try to talk to you. The thing is, if you get too close, it blows up. If you get caught in it, it's game over. It's instant death. So, on one hand, if I'm caught off guard, I'm dead. But I like to think that if I see it, which they're slow moving. So really, I feel like I have some confidence that I could avoid it. Plus, if you hit it with something like something thrown, because it would be stupid to go and run up and hit it. If you go and hit it with something thrown or shoot it with a gun, it just pops. So durable-wise, it's not up there. But since it's kind of a glass cannon, it's like, oh, you could pop it, but it could pop you kind of deal, So, I want to say, give it like a... 50-50 feels a little too generous. But at the same time, it does feel kind of realistic, like... I say, yeah, 50-50 on that. Just because it's slow. Once you see it, you know it's not going to be a human, so you're not going to try and help it. At least, I would think you're not going to go and try and help it. And you could easily take care of it from a distance. Assuming you have a weapon that's long range, but... Yeah. I think I might have jumped the gun with the infection, because I believe I already said that there is nothing that suppresses a infection from happening unless you're already immune, and unless I'm very lucky and I have immunity, which I kind of doubt that's gonna be... What the heck happened to you? Did you fall? Stop climbing stuff. I'm just gonna say that chances of me being immune are very slim to none. So I'm just gonna not count that. So I'm just gonna say that if I get bit, I'm done for. Straight up done for. But we are getting to the end of the video, so with that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Take care, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.